Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Drive Away Dolls. This is an R-rated road trip comedy slash crime thriller that comes to us from Ethan Coen. I actually went into it thinking that it was Joel and Ethan Coen co-directing because they usually do that. But no, it's actually just Ethan directing, and I could be wrong, but I think this might be the first time that he's directed a feature film without his brother co-directing alongside him. Now, I'll be honest and admit that I'm a novice when it comes to these two filmmakers. I've seen some of their stuff, and I've enjoyed most of what I've seen so far. There are just a lot of them that I haven't gotten to check out yet. I really love Fargo. I think it's one of their best. The Big Lebowski is great. It's an ever-quotable film. And I even really like something like True Grit. I thought that film was quite underrated, but there are a lot of others that I still haven't seen that I need to get around to. Regardless, this is a guy who has a pretty strong reputation in Hollywood, so I went into this at least expecting something decent. And I walked out of this wondering what the hell went wrong, because this does not feel like a Coen Brothers movie. If anything, it feels like a poor imitation of what a Coen Brothers movie is usually like. And a lot of their films are similar. We have quirky, bizarre characters that are our protagonists. They somehow wind up finding themselves in a situation involving criminals up to no good, and they have to figure out how to get out of it. Usually a lot of quirky, silly humor, and those things are present here too. The synopsis is basically we have Jamie, played by Margaret Qualley. After a breakup, she gets her friend Marion, played by Geraldine Viswanathan. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. Probably not, because I'm always terrible with names. But she gets her to agree to go on a road trip to Tallahassee. Why Tallahassee exactly? Who knows? But during this road trip, they engage in a lot of debauchery, and their friendship grows. But unsuspectingly, they're carrying a briefcase in their vehicle that contains something that a group of criminals want. So of course, they're going to start chasing after them, and now we have this crime situation. Now I'm going to go off on a limb here and make a bold claim that I think some people would disagree with, but the humor in Drive Away Dolls feels to me like it makes the same mistakes that something like Argyle makes, in that it tries so hard to be funny with these long-running gags that it just falls flat on its face. And I really like Margaret Qualley. I think she's a very talented actress. For one thing, they gave her a very strong Southern accent in this film, and it was so excessive that it started to get on my nerves. Every line of dialogue out of her mouth became tiresome to listen to. And I hate to say that because I do think she's a great actress. But also her character feels like a one-trick pony in that all she does is make sexual innuendos. That's all she does through the entire film. And this is only 84 minutes long. And yes, that is automatically a strength in and of itself. At least it doesn't overstay its welcome. But damn it, I spent most of those 84 minutes wanting a better film, and that's not good. I enjoyed Marion as a character more than I enjoyed Jamie because she's the more introverted, reserved one, and it was enjoyable to watch her come out of her shell over time in this film, which is the closest you can come to an actual character arc in this. Not saying that there needs to be a character arc in a short, concise crime comedy like this, but it definitely helps, especially when so much of the humor just doesn't work whatsoever. I'm really struggling to come up with a specific example of why the humor is so bad in this because most of it was so forgettable. The quips came and went so fast, but just to give something that comes to mind as an example, there are about 24 dildo jokes in this movie, and the first couple I thought were kind of funny. Little did I know that they were going to repeat the same shtick over and over again for the rest of it. There are a lot of editing choices that are definitely interesting. Scenes transition in ways that are kind of cool and quirky initially, and then it becomes, like a lot of the running gags in this, overused and repetitive. There are also a bunch of psychedelic dream-like sequences with Miley Cyrus in them, and that just left me sitting back in my seat and wondering what the hell these people were smoking when they wrote this. I don't know how to explain it because I like quirky stuff, but this just felt so out of left field, and like nothing makes any sense. It's all so ridiculously silly. As the bad guys are chasing after him, there's these two main henchmen that we follow, and they spend their entire road trip bickering, acting like complete buffoons to the point that they feel like they're out of like a cartoon. Like, this is Tom and Jerry level shit right here. And I just couldn't take any of it seriously, and it sucks because the supporting cast here is great and they are so underused. Coleman Domingo is totally misused. Pedro Pascal shows up for about 3 minutes, and his role was quite forgettable as well. Hell, even Matt Damon pops up as this corny alt-right senator, and I was like, what are these big names doing in this? Oh, wait, it's directed by one of the Coen brothers. That's why. It's the only reason they were able to assemble this good of a cast. And the way things go in the third act, without spoiling things, it left me completely dissatisfied. It just kind of fizzles out. There's no climax after what is the first hour of buildup. And I don't know, it seems like a big selling point of this movie is that the two main characters are lesbians, and there are a lot of lesbian sex scenes in this movie. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm happy to see some representation on the screen. It just kind of feels like that's where any sort of depth that this movie has starts and ends. So I'm going to keep this review really short, just like the movie does. I don't know, man. Let's give Drive Away Dolls 2 out of 5 stars. I found this movie to be, quite frankly, annoying, disinteresting, and boring, even though it was so short that it has no excuse to feel that way. I'm kind of shocked to see filmmakers of this caliber sink to a level this low. I'm not saying that they can't still make great films in the future. I just didn't know they were capable of making something this forgettable. And I want to reiterate that I've greatly enjoyed some of their films in the past, so I don't think this is a matter of taste. I think this was just a really weak attempt from somebody who is not used to making a film on his own. But I could be wrong. Maybe there were efforts put forward here and it just didn't turn out very well for whatever reason. As always, I am curious to hear what you guys have to say. Drop down into the comments and let me know what you thought of Drive Away Dolls. Again, we're on a 6th streak in 2024. I have not given a single thumbs up to anything. So Dune Part 2 might be our only hope because that's coming out next weekend. As always, thank you so much for watching this video and I'll see you guys in the next one.